All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Traversing the Veil. Yes, this is one of my homebrew D&D campaigns set in my weird, messed up homebrew D&D campaign setting, and the people below me are all the people that are super cool. That's it. I'm running out of strange introductions to make, so
Lies. We're not cool at all.
But we are weird, so we get points for that.
yes, and
That is
weird is
true.
cool.
Weird is good. It's not necessarily cool.
I think weird is very cool.
Yeah, you're cool too, Jody.
Yeah, no, I have a lifetime of experience of people going, no, that can disprove that real quick. I think I've told.
That's BS, and we know.
No. I kid you not. I think I've told this story before, but I had a buddy of mine when I was in high school. He was a section leader in band, just like me. We were both on jazz band. Like we were relatively close. He was section leader for the percussion section. And he was freaking genius as well. If I remember correctly, he had a full ride scholarship to UW-Madison, which is the most difficult of the University of Wisconsin schools to get to. It's a Big Ten conference school. Like it's a big deal of a school. And he got a full ride to it because of just all the nonsense that he could do. He was also gorgeous and very popular with the ladies in general. And so one day when I was a senior, because I was really into, like, we had our school was separated into 4 wings, and one wing was just the music department. And so I would spend all my time in the band wing, is what we called it. And so anytime I wasn't in class or anything, I'd just be hanging around there. And Cam was the same way. The wind ensemble that we were in had uniforms that we would wear at our concerts, which was just tuxedo pants and a tuxedo. Basically, the guys were in tuxedos and the girls were in these really nice long black dresses. Well, we kept the uniforms in the band room, and both Cam and I had keys to everything. So this one day, Cam goes in, and I promise we'll play D&D in a second. Cam goes in and he's bored, and so he just opens up the costume closet, takes out his, because we each got assigned a tuxedo jacket. And so he takes out his tuxedo jacket and just wears it over the clothes he was wearing. And 2 of the girls from choir, because we were also both in choir, see him like, damn, Cam, you look fine. And Cam, being the person that he was a super nice dude. He's like, thanks, that's real cool. And so after seeing that result, I'm like, dude, I could totally pull that off. And so I go and I get my tuxedo jacket, and these same girls just look at me and go, what are you doing? Because it works for, like, you said, Cam, it looked really good, and we're actually wearing similar outfit. He's like, yeah, but Cam is cool. He can pull that off. Take it off. And I immediately went, okay, we have understood. And I took it off, I put it back, and went back to wearing. At that point, I used to wear Hawaiian shirts almost exclusively. So
One of the many reasons why I consider it high school hell.
high school is not particular. The only fun I had in high school was when I was in the band hallway. The entire rest of high school just sucked. But and the same thing happened in college, where the only classes I enjoyed were jazz band and my acting classes. I was in choir because I decided to minor in music, and in order to minor in music at the college I was at, you had to have a chosen instrument. And I could have done saxophone, but that would mean I would need to take private lessons in saxophone for 2 years, which is a lot of work, especially when you're effectively in the same program as performance majors, which instrumental performance majors are nuts because you don't actually like a performance degree doesn't actually make you any money or do anything for you. Like it's a completely worthless degree. If you get a job in like a symphony orchestra, they really don't care what your degree is. They care if you can play. So I decided that my primary instrument would be my voice. And so I was in choir for, I think I was only in it for, no, I had to have been in it for 2 years. Yeah. And our choir director, Professor Cluter, wasn't Clater, which is how most Americans would pronounce his name. It was Cluter. I got to learn the International Phonetic Alphabet because we had to, every single song we had to write out the IPA pronunciation of everything in there.
Oh, jeez.
We learned rhythmic solfege, which is the dumbest thing in the world. Instead of normally counting a measure, which is like 1 and 2 and or 1 iana, 2 iana, it is do-ga-taga, de-ga-taga.
What the frick?
So yeah,
Wow.
it'd be do-day, do-ga-taga, de-ga-taga, do-ga-taga, de-ga-taga. It's the dumbest thing in the world. And I'm like, why in the world would you use rhythmic solfege when a counting system already exists and it's significantly more accurate? Like in traditional counting, you can go, well, this is on the and of 3, and you know exactly where it is. Whereas do-ga-taga doesn't differentiate between beats. Do is always your beat. And so, it drove me nuts. And he was, in order to be in that cuckoo choir, every year, in the beginning of the year, normally like end of September, early October, you would have to go on a weekend retreat with the choir to learn all of the music for that term, that semester. And if you didn't go on this weekend retreat, you couldn't be in the choir. Didn't matter what was going on. Like I was a theater major. We had rehearsals for the fall musical at that point. I'm like, I'm a theater major. I have to do this. It's like, well, if you want to be in this choir, I need to see that you are devoted to it. I'm like, it's a freaking choir, dude. Like it's a class. Why in the hell do you care? So yeah, he was a nightmare. I don't think he got fired, but I dropped out after 2 years to pursue my career in film acting, which went super well.
Nice.
And yeah, I think he was gone like a year after I left.
Hooray!
And the new dude that replaced him was apparently not a control freak. There are other terms that we used to use to describe him, specifically with relationship to the etymology of his last name, which by the way was German. Yeah. I did get to have fun. We did a tour of Texas and New Mexico with the choir to raise funds for the choir.
Ooh.
That was a freaking blast. We had this dude that toured with us who accompanied us on organs because we just exclusively performed in churches because the college I went to was associated with the Presbyterian Church, and churches are great places to have goodwill offerings where people just give you money. And so I became really close with our organist, and Professor Cluter kept trying to like strong arm him like he did the students, because the students he could threaten to fail, and he could threaten to do a lot of stuff because we're college students. This guy, however, was just a paid accompanist.
Jeez.
Like he didn't. The only reason he was there was he was getting paid for it, and so he kept trying to strong arm this guy and go, well, if you're not willing to do this, then maybe we need to consider, something else. He's like, okay, if you think that you can find a new organist that can play your entire repertoire of music while you are on the opposite side of the country, you go ahead and do that. I can find my own way back home. And so I called him the Vampire Killer. He was a cool dude. Anyway, announcements. I released the second episode of my new Essential Essence 20 series on my YouTube channel today. It's basically me doing a deep dive into, right now, the roles, which are classes in the Essence 20 system. Today was the Blue Ranger. Which I realized as I was doing the deep dive, that the Blue Ranger is basically kind of like the Wizard of Power Rangers, just because of how they're built and the features that they get. So
I mean,
it's cool. I like the Blue Ranger role is really interesting. There's some stuff that's not particularly great about it. Like, one of their kind of core features is you get to pick these things called grid tech, which are basically just permanent buffs for either you or the whole team. But like half the grid tech options are just really circumstantial. Like, one of the grid tech options is you can read and understand all languages while you're morphed. Which in some situations, really, really useful. Like if you're like Power Rangers in space, you're going to all these different planets and have to constantly deal with people with, alien languages, that's great. But if you're set in Angel Grove, which is basically Power Rangers LA, if you can speak English and Spanish, you're good. You will never need another language.
And that's while you're morphed only?
Yeah, most of the grid tech stuff are exclusive.
BS!
Well, it's what it is it's pitched effectively as you are upgrading the Power Rangers suits. So you basically have like a universal translator put into your helmet.
So like Metroid.
Kind of, yeah. So, I mean, it makes sense lore-wise. It's just one of those things that's like, well, if your campaign just doesn't go to places with different languages, then there's really no use in having it. Whereas in other things, like, I had a cool idea for like a team of Power Rangers that were basically kind of like archaeologists. Like if you're, tomb raiding and stuff like that, and you're constantly finding stuff written in dead languages, then yeah, that would be massively useful. Or if you're doing like a magic themed one, and you're constantly finding ancient spell books written in an ancient magic language, that would be really useful too.
This might be a very dumb question, but wasn't the archaeology one Operation Overdrive?
Technically, yeah, but Operation Overdrive had such an identity crisis that, well, they technically were archaeologists. They weren't, because they were car-themed and then tried to not admit it. Like, they had seatbelts on their uniforms. Operation Overdrive is such a sad Power Rangers series. Because the Sentai series is actually kind of interesting. It wasn't a phenomenal Sentai series either, but then they translated it into just this weird Power Rangers series. And they had an anniversary episode called Once a Ranger that could have been amazing. I think it was a 2-parter. And they brought back Adam, and they brought back basically one Ranger from 5 different previous seasons.
Yeah.
They finally gave Mighty Morphin like an actual morphing sequence.
They not really. All it was they took the morphing sequence from what's the Operation Overdrive, and they just superimposed a Black Ranger helmet on it. Like it wasn't like an exclusive. And for whatever reason, because at that point they didn't own the Saban era music that was done by Ron Rosserman, everyone else, when they came in, like they had Dino Thunder Yellow, they had Ninja Steel Blue, they technically had Sky from SPD, who started as the Green Ranger and then went to the Blue Ranger and then was promoted to the Red Ranger for the final episode. Or no, he got to use the Red Ranger powers like once during the show. So in this show, because they already had a Blue Ranger and a Black Ranger in the fact that Adam was the Black Ranger, he was the Red Ranger. And when they're introducing him, and then they also had a Green Ranger, which was the Green Mystic Force Ranger. And so they're introducing themselves, and so it's like, I'm the Black Mighty Morphin Ranger. It's like, I'm the Blue Ninja. And Xander, maybe that was his name. I can't remember the.
Maybe I'll look it up.
Anyway, he goes, yeah, I'm the green, or I was the Green Ranger, and then I was the Blue Ranger, and now I'm the Red Ranger. And everyone's just looking at him like, what? We don't change, like, other than Johnny, we don't change Ranger colors.
There was one funny moment, I think it was either 2008 or 2009 Anime Central, where they got a bunch of Power Rangers actors, and Jason David Frank was one of them, rest in peace. And they were introducing themselves, and then it got to Jason, and he goes, I'm Jason David Frank. I play the Green Ranger, White Ranger, Red Ranger, Blue Ranger, Z Ranger, Turbo Ranger. He's like sinking into the table as the list goes on.
Well,
and then he ends it with, and the Pink Ranger on weekends.
What was it, Bridge?
Bridge, maybe that's what it was. Because again, he was originally green, then blue, and then red. Because Sky was the Blue Ranger, who then became Red Ranger, and then became significantly later on, he became head of SPD.
Yeah, it was Bridge.
It was Bridge, yeah. Bridge is a cool character. But yeah, and so everybody else got their Power Rangers theme. Like you see the Yellow Ranger, you go, beep, 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 beep. And you have that cool thing. And then you have the Ninja Steel music, or the Ninja Storm music start coming on. And then you hear the really cool, the theme for SPD was really cool. It's this, it's really cool. So you see him come on with his two pistols going, I'm here. And then the Mystic Force comes on. You see him cast the magic. And then you just hear this really weird generic, chooka, 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 bing. And then the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger appears. You're like, where's the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da? But they apparently couldn't get the right to Wasserman's music. And so everybody else had the music from their series playing to their various fight scenes. And he just had this generic, drum click. And then some random hits on an electric guitar that was distorted. And that was it.
I do like the remark that Adam makes about Tommy. I can't believe he became a doctor, archaeologist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, ironically, Adam, I think grew up to be a karate teacher.
Adam, according to what was it called? Once and Always. He was a founder of SPD.
Oh.
Like he and Aisha show up at the end of Once and Always, and they're technically in SP Space Patrol Alpha uniforms because they have SPA on there, but they're in Space Patrol Delta uniforms that just have SPA on them. And they basically at the end of it, they go, "Yeah, I wish we could have helped. I wish you guys would have called us." But we were off in space doing other things because we were setting up the Space Patrol. So yeah, eventually Adam goes and forms Space SPD, and I think it's canon now that Soul of the Dragon, which was a comic book series, Tommy eventually retires from being a Power Ranger to raise his kid, who eventually joins SPD as the Green Ranger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But Soul of the Dragon is basically his last hurrah. It's Old Man Logan, but Tommy. And you get to watch him, his Master Morpher starts breaking, and so he gets to use his last few morphs during that comic series. and then, spoiler alert, he gives the Green Ranger powers to his son, and so his son, when he morphs into his SPD uniform, has the Green Ranger shield on his SPD uniform. It's super cool. It's a great story. Comic book had some crazy awesome stuff. Anyway, so that stuff is happening. In addition, Vecna Eve of Ruin launches in about 5 days. There is a huge kerfuffle dealing with early access and stuff because D&D Beyond broke their storefront. However, I did not get early access like I was supposed to, but my actual physical copy arrived 5 days early. I've read through the adventure. It is freaking amazing. Probably the best 5th edition adventure that they have released. A nice kind of send-off for 5th edition before it turns into 5.5 this summer. And yeah, if you get a chance to pick it up, I highly recommend it. I might even do an in-depth review on it because it is just that good. So that's stuff happening. We've talked about it before. I backed a Kickstarter for an RPG system called Break years ago. And it's looking like they are they're just about ready to start actually publishing it. Like, they have the physical copies. They're going to be getting them to backers, I think in June is what they said. And so very soon there may be a new RPG system out there that's kind of based on Miyazaki is what's like the big thing that inspired it. Yeah, that's the RPG system that one of the classes you can take is just normal dude with a big backpack that accidentally became an adventurer. And they also have both Battle Princess and some other princess, which are basically like paladin and anti-paladin, but super anime. So it's cool. I've really enjoyed seeing it. Like, I already have my PDF copy of the core book, and it's great. Really love that. Other RPG related news. There's currently a Humble Bundle right now. If you want to pick up a large chunk of the Cypher system, which is a system that I use to run my Legend of Zelda game that Chax plays in. They have a Humble Bundle right now. It's like $25 for a crap ton of the system. Basically, the only stuff that you're not getting with it is the Numenera campaign setting, which was the first Cypher system campaign setting, and a campaign setting called The Strange. But just about everything else you have in there, and some of the new stuff that they did a Kickstarter for, I think, like last year, that it's called Rust and Redemption, which is kind of a post-apocalyptic stuff. So yeah, it's a really, really good deal. I'm a huge fan of Humble Bundle in general for a number of reasons, but one of those reasons is I get a lot of my RPGs through there. That and a website called Bundle of Holding, which is basically kind of like Humble Bundle, but it exclusively does RPG bundles. So I think right now they have a couple different Traveler RPG bundles, which is a cool system. And they have somewhere between like 2 and 4 bundles a week that they're running. And they all tend to be pretty affordable. Like somewhere between like $20 and $40 gets you generally an entire RPG system with all the expansions and stuff. So compared to spending $60 on a single book, it's a great deal. Anything else going on in the tabletop RPG world? I don't think so.
I don't have anything.
Matt, Colville, let Dale name your system. Oh, 2 of Colville's books have been added to D&D Beyond. So if you'd like to kind of get a preview of how Matt Colville's brain works, they're basically, he created his own monster manual, and then he also has a series of, they call it adventures. They say that there's 22 adventures in there. I don't know exactly what that means, if those are like little one-shots or if they are just kind of like battle scenarios, because Colville has a really great kind of combat mind. So you can get those directly through D&D Beyond now, which is kind of cool. Third-party content coming to D&D Beyond has been really interesting. And I'm interested to see where it goes. So, anyway, I think that is everything that is going on right now. Or at least in the RPG world. There's other shit going on in the world, but we play this game to forget about that. So, yeah. I think that means that it's time for us to return to Traversing the Veil. The party has a choice. While exploring Exelos, trying to find some odd jobs to help offset the cost of the repairs of their ship, they've discovered a few worrying things. The city of Exelos has been taken over effectively by martial law under the guise of a quarantine from something that happened in the Fading Isles. Arai met a member of his former traveling to the troop that told him that his parents had apparently disappeared on an expedition, and requested that Arai return to the Feywild to help with funeral arrangements and the failing war that was going on. And the party has been hired to prevent a public official from making a meeting in whatever way they decide is best by the Assassin Guild and Anemone. So the party has decisions to make. Do they want to commit murder? Do they want to find an alternate way around that? Do they want to abandon the quest in its entirety and simply attempt to leave this locked down city? All of these things will eventually have to be decided. All right, so the last.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Before this goes any further, hey, Evan, do your best impersonation of a precocious draconic girl. Katie, please do your best Southern accent.
Oh, not a fun day we're having here.
Damn it. I swear to you, I had everything fixed and it didn't work. Really? Why are you doing this?
I tried to give you the heads up in chat.
No, I saw, and I kid you not, when I first set everything up, I looked and I thought, my brain said that I thought the names are correct. Ha ha, the overlay wasn't working.
Well, maybe it won't take so long to fix.
You gotta giggle. You gotta giggle.
I am seeing a lot of disadvantage in your future.
Yeah.
Oh no, bingo!
So, I think the last time that we spoke, I saw that posted chat, by the way, Smegwick, and I'm trying to think, what are they talking about? the last time we played, I think you guys had effectively infiltrated the dry dock and found out that the rather expensive amount of money that you paid for this dry dock was 100% worth it.
It's
As,
also self-preservation. Let's be honest here. Let's be fair.
as the dry dock owner lied through his teeth to the military there. So,
He will be getting a very nice tip once this is all over.
so yeah, Crexney, as of right now, has made some decent headway on the repairs, but still has bare minimum a few days left of work before the ship is going to be Valeworthy. So she wishes you all the best, but covered in, various grease bits and other things, just goes back to working on the ship.
Yeah, I heard, like, maybe her ears twitching in impatience.
So, what would the rest of you guys like to do?
I think from last session we were trying to figure out, like, on one hand we were gonna go somewhere to try to steal some guard uniforms, and I'm probably gonna get this wrong. I think the other possible plan, or the second part of the main plan, which was steal the uniforms, was also to go to that one. I'm blanking on the name because my brain's running on fumes after today. It was like that one tavern where we've been getting a lot of our information.
Rooster.
Sleepy Rooster, thank you.
Chicken place.
Yeah, that place. Apparently, the other possible idea was to go there to try to get information on where to go and what to do. I'm missing a lot of details. That's just kind of what I remember right now after all this time.
Laundry, ? See what's the rumor mill at the scuttlebutt from Sleepy Rooster, and also possibly scoping out the inn.
Mm-hmm.
Because the inn is not the Sleepy Rooster. Sleepy Rooster is basically a chicken place.
It's run
Chicken
by a
shack.
colonel.
Colonel Anus.
No, Colonel Sanders.
Yeah. Ah, damn it. Is that who I'm dressed up as right now?
Son. Colonel Sanders' son. Colonel Sanders' son.
No, Sunday son?
I don't know. Anyway.
Anywho.
So yeah, and you guys also have, effectively you have a day until the person that you are supposed to, quote unquote, take care of, will arrive in the city for some sort of meeting here before going off to their alternate meeting that you guys have been paid to ensure doesn't happen. In addition, you guys were informed that the guard complement that will be protecting him also happens to include 2 blade singers.
And again, just to sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just wanting to reconfirm. The main objective we have is not to stop the real meeting. We just need to stop him from getting to the meeting. It doesn't matter whether
Correct. Yeah,
doesn't
'cause
matter if the meeting
is on
happened.
another planet. Or
The-
not planet. Sorry.
To be clear, the inn is the faux meeting. He will then leave the inn to go to the real meeting, wherever that may be.
Yeah.
And we know which inn he's going to be at for the faux meeting.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So,
we
then,
just
we
need to
basically
sleep with
just-
him and get him drunk and not wake up the next morning. That's all we need. Like, it's a bad idea.
Do
Okay,
we have any way of doing that?
We pretty much just surmise that
what's there?
every plan in a Rise head is starting a harem.
I mean,
Of course
I'm-
it
It's
is.
not a
I'm not
harem. I don't
against-
expect people to stay around me forever.
I mean, I've never been
You're not
against
against harems?
one. No, no. Me personally, no, not at all.
So, Reggie.
So right.
Hey.
Anywho, okay, so I guess the first thing we got to figure out is
Oh,
do we want to first focus on getting the uniforms or getting the information first? I guess the real question is which location are we closest to, relatively speaking?
I
Where
mean,
are we?
We're right next
you
to
guys
the
are
dock.
the
The
yeah.
ship.
You guys are at the dry dock, which is in effectively an unused portion of the city currently. It is in the kind of northwestern corner of the city, which is weird because it's a round city. But yeah, the docks that you guys originally arrived on were in the southwest. And so dry dock is effectively on kind of the other side of the city, and then the Sleeping Rooster is near the center of the city. It's one of the reasons why it's still in operation compared to so many other places that have just been forced to shut down.
Because the farther out you go from the center, the less active everything is.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easier to control things when everything is right next to each other. So the market that you guys went to is also near the center of this city, and the kind of military base that's been set up there is just south of the center of this city.
And did we ever decide on a location that we basically settled on to try? It was like some kind of cleaning location or like a laundry location to get uniforms.
I pitched that idea. They must have someplace to do their laundry with this number of.
I would say, Imp, with your
I threw it as a
Spangor,
possibility. I don't know. We never confirmed.
with your experience, you would know that laundry would be done in their kind of makeshift FOB. So it's forward operating base, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know. So the place that's south of the chicken spot, where basically they've created their own little military base, you guys would have to infiltrate there to get uniforms. They wouldn't like send it off somewhere else.
Was that the place that I was taken when I tried to cut the line?
No, we were on the outskirts because that was by like where the ships were disembarking.
Yeah,
but they escorted me somewhere like quite a
that
ways off
particular
from that.
place was just a camp effectively.
Yeah.
The actual complete, I guess that technically would have been a forward operating base, and the makeshift base is actually just a base camp. So
okay.
so yeah, that was literally a command tent and a few auxiliary things so that they would have a command point there. But the rest of the troops all have a location right next to it that they go. But it's not. That was just the command outpost.
Okay. Well, way I see it, we get the uniforms first, then we can just spend the rest of the day at the inn, just kind of wait for them.
Well, hopefully not in uniform, because someone will see us eventually and ask us, "Hey, what are you doing here?"
Yeah, true. Which means we would need to find a time to leave, get in uniform, come back, not stay there long enough for anyone to raise suspicion.
And one other point of clarification: the inn that the meeting will be taking place is currently shut down. So it's not like one of the few businesses that's still open. They specifically chose an inn that is not currently being used for the meeting.
Oh, so it's actually shut down.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We might still have options, but
It's in the eastern part of the city, so.
Okay, well, since we know the place is shut down, I would actually say that the first thing we got to do is go over there, stake out the location, see it from all manner of angles. Maybe we might give us an idea if we know the environment a little bit better on what we can do for a plan.
Well, let's say
that's
we
what
are going to burn in daylight. We both need to like check the place out, and if we're going to go for if we are going to go for uniforms, we may have to, maybe make it a two-pronged attack.
I mean, either way, it seems like the common denominator here is getting uniforms. So either way, that's gonna happen no matter what kind of plan we come up with. It seems like. I mean, either we find information at the chicken place, then we get uniforms, or we stake out the environment, then we get uniform. Either way, uniforms are gonna happen. So we just got to figure out how to get them. But then again, at the same time, I feel kind of bad for us. This is both Reggie and me talking. I'm hesitant about splitting the party.
Yeah,
Me
so
too,
am
but
I.
me too, but we have a day.
Yeah. What time is it right now, Jody? Like in this world, like what?
You guys just finished a long rest.
Oh, yay!
So it's around like 7, 8 in the morning.
Oh, so we have like a full
Yeah,
day.
you have a day.
Oh, perfect. I thought it was like 3 in the afternoon all this time or something. Okay, that actually makes things way easier.
You guys got back to the dry dock pretty late last night, so I guess to get the full 8-hour long rest, it'd probably be close to like 9ish in the morning, because you guys got back pretty late. But
we got a
we were in,
long
like,
enough
mid-morning.
rest.
We're talking about mid morning right now.
Okay.
So you have the vast majority of the day, and then the meeting tomorrow, from what your contact told you, is going to be happening at night. So technically, you have the majority of the next day as well.
Even better. All right. Well, I hate to say it, but kind of thinking about everything, we need to get everything done pretty efficiently here. So I'm loath to admit it, but I think what you suggested, Smegma, might be our best option, a two-pronged attack. 2 of us can go out and get uniforms. The other 2 can actually stake out the location of where the foe meeting is going to take place and just figure out how best to go at it. Question is, who does what?
Harai wants to go at it. He would be a terrible person to go try and sneak into a military base. So
But here's the thing.
can't.
I'm thinking you don't need to sneak. God, it's a great trickster. I think Arai and Reggie should go try to get the uniforms, because where bullshit may fail, flirting may help.
Reggie's about to argue that, and then he's like, actually, kind of looks at you, looks at Arai for a moment, looks back at you, looks back at Arai.
I'm on a horse.
no, Arai's on a horse.
My name is Philip.
First last night.
So anyway,
Anyway,
Hmm.
how did we get here? Okay.
Megwig, surprisingly.
I said flirting. I didn't say crap a damn about a saddle or a crop or anything else. I want to be very freaking clear on this.
Okay, all right, it might actually take some kind of talking to with these people to get uniforms. I think that actually would be a good idea. So now we got to do is find the place where they have them.
Well, Jody, I want to post on this. The Tempest Sovereignty has basically taken command of the city, martial law, and all that. Would they have, like, commandeered, like, laundry facilities, or would they have set up their own thing?
To be perfectly honest, you don't know.
Okay.
You know that you in particular were not trained in urban warfare in general. Like you were a pathfinder. So you know how most forward operating bases work. You don't know what they would have done because the sovereignty has not fought a war on their own shores in millennia. Like it's just not something that happens often. Even the current elemental wars that are going on right now, the majority of the fighting is happening on either kind of border islands at the edge of the sovereignty or actually in the Feywild. And also in the Scorched Dominion and the Aqueous Realm. So you're actually not 100% certain how they've set up the laundry facilities, but you know the general thing. Like if they're setting up a forward operating base in the Feywild, they can build an entire military base in like less than a day, including laundry facilities, showering facilities, everything.
Basically, they're fighting anywhere that's not Vale.
Yeah.
At the I believe we made at least a little bit of a friend at the bazaar. We could simply ask where the majority of the cleaning supplies are going to.
Maybe.
That actually is not a bad idea.
Sundries types and possibly additional linens.
Back to the merchants.
I figure we stop by there real quick, then we could possibly decide where we need to go next.
Uh-oh.
So.
Barbarian's dipping out.
Yep.
Maybe he doesn't want to do this after all.
So, where are you guys gonna go?
Back to the marketplace?
Yeah, the bazaar, the marketplace.
Okay. So, getting there takes the better part of like an hour. And as you get there, it's kind of similar to the last time you saw it, though. Why don't you guys make me? I'll let you choose insight or perception checks.
Ooh, hey. Beautifully.
So, for instance,
They're both
that.
They're both the same for me, so I'm gonna go with perception.
14 on insight.
Okay.
That spit would help me on perception.
22 on perception.
Okay.
Nice.
18.
18. All right. So, Smegrick and Reggie, as you guys are getting there, you notice, for lack of a better term, the flow of traffic seems different than you remember it. Like last time, there was a pretty easy understanding of kind of where to go. People would start effectively in the produce section and then slowly work their way through the rest of the stalls. This time, for whatever reason, people will still start in the very large kind of open air fresh market. But then for whatever reason, large portions of the customer base will kind of get to the edge of the fresh produce and then turn around and take an alternate route through the rest of the shops. Owie, on the other hand, as you get here, you notice that the kind of feeling of the market feels different. There's this kind of air of tension in the market that just wasn't there before. The entire city in and of itself, because it's effectively under martial law, there's this tension that is everywhere. But for whatever reason, the market right now feels almost electric, like something is just about to happen.
Everything seems more staticky than I am. Everyone seems very on edge.
I mean, there's definitely something going on here. The way everyone's moving just seems doesn't look right.
Something's upsetting the flow, but we still gotta find the question. We just need to be on the guard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I say we just find the guy we need to find, ask the questions, and then vacate quickly.
Get out of.
So I guess the question is, do we know who we're looking for? I mean,
And
didn't
if
one
you're
of you
trying
say
to
we're
talk
like
to the guy that you talked to last time, at first glance you don't see him, but the fresh produce section is busier than it was the last time you were here. Otherwise, if you want to try asking, because he doesn't technically deal with any cleaning supplies or linens, that would be a different group in here. So if you want to talk to him first, because you have a rapport with him, you can. If you want to try and kind of move around and find people that might be more familiar with those supplies, you can do that as well. It's all up to you. What do you guys want to do?
Hey.
I mean, we could all kind of.
Would like the clean supplies have like kind of an odor about it?
If they were being used, yes, because this is just kind of being stored, not particularly.
Okay. So that would be a no then.
Yeah.
Darn it.
I mean, this isn't like, going to the supermarket where everything has like an artificial scent and stuff like that. This is just kind of basic soaps and stuff like that. Which I guess, soap does have a scent to it, but there's not
very strong.
Yeah. And there's so many other things that are going on in this place that being able to detect it outside of when you are physically in the kind of area that it's in would be
impossible.
Yeah. There's hundreds of people wandering around here.
I mean, we could just blend in with the flow and see where it takes us. Maybe we might catch sight of what's going on here.
Yeah.
I mean, seems pretty easy to me.
Well, he might have tips on how to navigate, and he also seems to be quite the gossip when it comes to see about things that might be going on, so it wouldn't be too bad an idea to check in with him real quick.
Very true. Do we see him from where we're standing?
From where you are currently, no. There's too many people wandering around to be able to see it. Because right now you guys are technically on the outside of this whole market area looking in. If you want to actually go into the fresh produce section, you would assume it probably would not be super difficult to find him.
All right.
He is a salesman.
All right. I say we walk on in. Maybe we're not gonna do anything standing here, and Reggie's just gonna go ahead and like enter the market proper.
Okay. So, as you are looking around trying to find your new acquaintance, why doesn't everybody roll me perception checks with disadvantage?
Oh no!
You're awful.
This is effectively hearing checks.
Oh, that's not bad. 9.
9. Okay. So yeah, you guys are hearing conversations as you're working through, and there's just so many different conversations on. That's where the disadvantage comes from.
Yeah. I'm assuming this isn't a situation where we could just use our passive.
No. There's a particular reason why I'm asking for an active check.
Okay. Well, I got a 6.
Okay.
9.
Cool. So, as you guys are wandering through, there's a lot going on right now. Like, as you guys are trying to kind of make your way around, you're hearing little bits and parts of a lot of different conversations. And for the most part, because of everything going on and just the chaos of an open air market, you're not really able to listen to any conversation long enough to get any useful information. But the overall kind of mood of the market itself is that of there's this underlying layer of fear of everyone there that simply wasn't there before. The last time you guys were here, there was still, kind of an exhaustion and kind of an underlying tension of, oh wow, if the rumors are true, then there was some big catastrophe and people could be infected with something, and contaminated with something. But that was really it. And now there is this very present kind of fear. People are talking in hushed tones. If you get too close to a group of people, they will kind of look at you and, turn their bodies to create a physical barrier from you hearing what they're talking about. Things like that. And it just keeps happening over and over again.
Rude.
Eventually, you do find your friend, which for the life of me, I cannot remember the accent I used for him. So if his accent magically changes, it's just being a salesman. He's decided that this is a better accent for today, and definitely not because the Dungeon Master can't remember the damn character. So, excuse me.
You're excused.
As you guys get over there, he kind of looks at you guys, and then immediately turns away, and works with another group nearby.
No, you don't.
Oh dear.
What do y'all want to do?
All right, hold on.
This is starting to look very familiar.
All right, well, I am starting to lose my patience with this guy. I don't consider him a threat, though, so I'm only going to do this at second level. I am going to cast Detect Thoughts on him, because I want an idea of just, like, what is going on that made this guy's opinion of us just take a 180.
Okay. Just so I'm aware, you've decided that you're going to cast a spell in the middle of a crowded area that has guards and things watching it.
Ah, shit.
Just, again, so that I fully understand what it is that you want to do.
I back it up.
I mean, I'd have to look at that spell to remember if it has just verbal components or if there's somatic and material as well.
Yep, it's all three of them.
Yeah.
So never mind.
So this isn't just, whispering a word to get it. This is a full casting sequence.
Ah.
So again, you're welcome to do it, or if you want to try and find a way to do it in an inconspicuous way, you can attempt it. Because it has all three components, it's going to be near impossible to cast this spell without somebody noticing.
Hey, Chancellor's back.
I was wondering if the camera was stuck because the screen was blank, but the window was there, and I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, I just turned off her particular camera so she can deal with the stuff that she needs to without people watching her. So once she's ready to join us again, her camera will come back on. Which I believe is the now.
Well, I thought there was a power outage because she wasn't in Discord either.
No.
Hi. We can't hear you because you're muted, but...
I know. Wait, sorry. Me?
Hello.
Yep, you're back. Hi.
Hi.
We are currently in the market wanting to talk to our acquaintance who helped us out before, but apparently now that we entered the market, everyone is willfully trying to ignore us, including him.
Cool. Can I roll to flirt?
Absolutely.
That would be way more subtle than what I had planned.
Do you want to flirt with him in particular? Because right now, effectively what happened is you guys were wandering through the produce section, which is very scary for right now. There's this air of fear everywhere, and the kind of flow of traffic has been disrupted, and it's going a different way than it was yesterday. And you guys did find him, but he kind of made eye contact with you, like made sure that you guys saw that he made eye contact, and then turned away specifically to help someone else, like actively, intentionally turned away. So with that knowledge, what would you like to do?
Was there anyone around us at all?
This place is packed.
Tons of people.
Okay.
We're in Costco.
Oh, okay.
Costco on double
Costco at
coupon day.
Christmas. Ooh. Is that a thing? Have I been missing it all my life?
Double coupon day used to be a thing. I don't know if they do it anymore, but
I doubt
worked. I worked at a grocery store when double coupon day was a thing, and let me tell you, when the coupon doesn't ring up the exact way that they expect it to ring up, doesn't matter if it's a computer issue, if it's they read the coupon wrong, whatever. The coupon expired 7 years ago.
Yeah, it was always my favorite. Not that I ever had to work with coupons, but like...
Sorry, sir. This coupon expired like 4 years before I started working here.
It's also for a Sam's Club, not a Costco.
We did have people that come in with like.
Oh no!
Sorry. This is a coupon for our competitor. Well, you guys can accept them. No, we can't. I don't. At the grocery store I worked at, I had even less power than the office supply store I worked at. So I'm like, I don't have a manual coupon button here. I scan the coupon, it goes boop, and the numbers appear on the screen. If it doesn't go boop, or it does the wrong boop, there's literally nothing I can do. I send you to customer service where they had a physical, actual metal key that you had to put into the register and turn to turn on the manager options. And then they also had a scan card that they used. Like, anyway, so what do you guys
Man, this is for a Wendy's.
like, you're trying to use a coupon for Jiffy Lube on your carrots. I'm not sure what you thought this was going to do, but your carrots don't need an oil change. I'm just going to let you know, no oil required for carrots. For their normal use.
I'd like to see your manager, please.
You know, fun fact, my wife used to work at Aldi, and she did one time get someone who was not only that kind of level of Karen like craziness, but he, I shit you not, completely unironically believed that the reason why his coupon wasn't working was because of a government conspiracy because of lizard people. She told me that story, and my first reaction was, those people actually exist? They're not they're not just an internet joke?
If you want to watch a phenomenal documentary, I can't remember what it's called anymore. But
my wife's in the other room and she opened the door and says, no, he was dead serious.
There was a documentary that came out a few years ago about the Flat Earther movement. And the interesting thing about it is they interviewed a bunch of Flat Earthers, basically with them thinking that they were making a documentary trying to prove Flat Earth theory is real. And so they got people to explain things in really, really good detail about their actual beliefs, which doesn't happen a lot, and really, really intelligent people. But the actual point of the documentary was not to poke fun at them and make them stupid. They also interviewed a ton of psychologists, and the documentary focuses on how people can get sucked into conspiracy theories and groups like that from a psychological perspective, and they kind of compare it to how like cults work and the things like that. It is a fascinating documentary.
Is that the same documentary where they had them run the experiments that? Yeah, that's a good.
There was two different experiments that they found two different groups that were running experiments to prove that the Earth was flat. One of the experiments was they actually had like a really powerful GPS kind of thing. And they were going to put it on a ship, and if the Earth was round, then due to the Coriolis effect, I think that was what they were using, if you move a certain distance, then it should offset by this much. if you have
By
it
15
extreme.
degrees, I know this clip. Yes.
Yeah. But if it's flat, that won't happen. And so they spent like tens of thousands of dollars to get this device that was accurate enough that could actually measure this. And the results were inconclusive.
Sure enough.
And then the second one, what they did was they went on a river and they put a camera like 2 miles down the river and a light 2 miles away. And then they had a board with a hole cut in it. And they go, well, if the Earth is flat, then we should be able to have, you know, a light 10 foot in the air, the hole 10 foot in the air, and the camera 10 foot in the air, and they should be able to see it. However, if the Earth is actually round, then there's no possible way over that distance you would be able to see it, because the curvature of the Earth, the light wouldn't have to do it. And so they're doing the experiment, and they're going, okay, we're not seeing the light. I don't know what's going wrong. How about this? And they're on walkie-talkies. They go, just stick the light up as high as you can. And so they did, and as soon as they did that, they saw the light.
And then they calculated out the distance that it was in between, and sure enough, it was.
And so again, the results were inconclusive because, but yeah, no, the actual psychological process behind, like, just becoming into like conspiracy theories in general, depending on the conspiracy theory, there's actual psychological reasons why people kind of get involved in this and why they believe it so strongly. The documentary itself is fascinating because, again, they're not trying to paint flat earthers as these dumb morons that are too stupid to function in society. The vast majority of flat earthers are actually remarkably intelligent. They just have fallen victim to some psychological control methods that are extremely effective. Things like distancing yourself from anyone that doesn't support you, stuff like that. So it's really, really fascinating. Also, hey, Artie, how you doing?
They also reached out to Sam Riegel when he was playing a character who was who was
Did they?
essentially a flat earth. Yes, they did.
I didn't know that.
Sam
Oh,
Riegel said, like, and they
no.
were like, "Hey, I appreciate this," but he was like, "I'm making fun of you people. I don't want." He was very nicely trying to back away from it.
Yeah, it again. It's we're so used to the idea that people that believe things like that the anti-vax movement was kind of a similar thing. Flat earthers, 9/11 conspiracy theorists, all that stuff. We're so used to the media just painting them as crackpots and morons, and they're not. The vast majority of them are incredibly intelligent people. Like, there are PhDs that believe this. PhDs that have degrees in actual like earth science and stuff like that believe this. And it's not that they're stupid. It's not that they're ignorant or they're mentally unwell or anything. It's the entire process around a lot of these groups involves psychological conditioning and techniques that have been used by groups for centuries to convince you to form a stronger bond with the group than you have with anything else. And it's all about group dynamic. It's really fascinating. So
I think I found it. It's on Apple TV. It's called Behind the Curve.
it might have been. No, this one I saw on Netflix. So I'll guarantee that. I know there was a couple different documentaries that went in, so it might be another one that's along the same thing. Or maybe that is, and just Apple TV has got it. So yeah. Anyway, back to the actual game that we're playing.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry.
That's fine. It's a fascinating subject, and I use it in a lot of my, like, I use psychology in my games all the time to explain why things are happening. So anyway, you guys are in Costco on Double Coupon Day. What do you want to do?
Perfect. Find someone that's close to us who kind of. I'm trying to see if there's someone who's paying a little bit more attention to us than what everyone else is. Does that make sense? Whoops.
I was just gonna ask Reggie if he's picking up any of his secret club high signs.
Oh. That actually is a good idea. Jody, could I do like a perception check for that?
Sorry, I was doing two different things. What did you want to do a perception check for?
Smegwick suggested that while Arai tries to see if there's someone who's still kind of more or less paying a little bit more attention to us, Smegwick suggested that Reggie do possibly a perception check to see if there's any other like little hidden symbols or anything that like my thieves can't senses could possibly try and pick out just in case.
Well, I was
So-
thinking either that or someone's like doing that innocuous talk that we didn't pick up on or something like that. So.
Yeah, basically look for hidden codes, both visual and spoken, in our surrounding.
Is
So-
anybody speaking Cockney right now?
There's two different things that would require two different checks. If you want to effectively look for thieves can't signs, that's a different to check. If you want to specifically look to see if someone is either looking at you or kind of surveilling you personally, or if someone's kind of just surveilling the area, that would be a different check. So you can make both those checks, but they're separate checks. So I need to know.
Well, the thing
which one you
about
want to
well,
do.
the thing about seeing if people are watching us still a little bit more, that was Arai's idea. So I was thinking Arai was going to make that check, and
Okay.
I was going to be looking for like thieves can't stuff. So like we would both be doing singular checks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's start. So Reggie, you specifically want to look around for thieves can't indications, just thieves can't in general. Cool.
Yeah.
Why don't you make me? Yeah, we can do a perception check for this. So go ahead and make a perception check for me.
All
While that's
right.
going on, Arai, Aoi, and Reggie take inspiration from DJ Artie.
Can I use that for my roll that I just got?
If you would like to.
I would. How much inspiration is that?
Inspiration, this is DM inspiration, so it just allows you to get advantage on a roll.
Oh, then I shall roll a second time. Never mind, my first roll was better. 12.
12. Okay. So looking around, there's so much kind of chaos going on right now that finding any indications of thieves can't is remarkably difficult. You're looking for spots that normally they would hide signs and stuff like that, or you're kind of trying to see if you can observe conversations where people are saying one thing but meaning another, the kind of verbal thieves can't that you've dealt with. And people are so on guard right now that you can't really listen to or observe any conversations well enough to detect thieves can't. And looking around, you're having a hard time finding any indications like thieves can't symbols or other indications that rogues are trying to leave messages. But there's so much chaos right now with it being so busy that it's very possible there could be something there and you just missed it, or someone that didn't understand thieves can't might have accidentally, like sometimes thieves camp is as simple as leaving a red handkerchief on a in front of a doorway or something like that, and with all the chaos and everything, someone could very easily see that, think that it's trash or something, and pick it up and take it away. Take it away, or think that it's valuable and just pick it up and take it away. So yeah, as far as you can tell, you personally don't see anything thieves can't related, but it's also so chaotic that you understand that you could have missed quite a few different things. Arai, did you want to look for surveillance? Okay, go ahead and give me a investigation check.
I'm going to use my inspiration on that since I have it, and I never use it when I have it.
And just
18.
an FYI, with chat given inspiration, that you can bank. Unlike normal D&D inspiration where you're only allowed one, chat inspiration you can just keep until you want to use it.
Cool. Well, I have a bank of it, but
Okay.
since I've just given it, I wanted to use it.
Go for it.
So thank you. So 18,
18, yeah. So
which I'm grateful for because it was a 1.
looking around, at first nothing really sticks out as someone trying to surveil you. And as you're kind of looking around, you start realizing that your costumes that you guys are wearing are probably more effective than you realized. No one really cares about you guys. And once that kind of clicks and you just start looking, you notice 2 different people on opposite sides of on opposite sides of the market that seem to be surveilling the market specifically. You're not exactly sure what they're doing, but having experience in like from the Vanishing Ruins, understanding like they give you kind of a similar feel to the Pathfinders that would head into the ruins ahead of your kind of clearing team to map and kind of mark out where all the dangerous areas were. They give you a similar vibe. Like it's obvious to you that they're not actively taking notes, but you can see them kind of making mental notes and like they're mapping the area.
Okay. So Rai's going to sort of lean down to whatever merchandise is closest to Smegwig in his face and relay that information.
Okay.
Okay, it's just to clarify, because I was also looking at my other notes. They're just mapping us in general. They've taken note of us, but they're not scrutinizing us.
They're
Not
actually
us necessarily. It's just the market.
Yeah, they don't actually care about you guys, but they are definitely kind of mapping out the market and the people in it. But they haven't seemed to notice you guys in particular. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah, Reggie, once you're made aware of it, you recognize the idea of casing an area.
Oh, we need to watch our step here, fellas.
Don't we always?
No, a little bit more here. And Reggie's like doing his best to be very nonchalant as he talks.
Suddenly starts whistling. Reggie's never whistled in his life, but
He didn't even know he could.
We got some people off to the side, just over there. They are heavily observing this place.
Yeah,
Not-
I just pointed
not-
that out.
Oh, I thought it was because when Jody pointed out to me.
Oh no, because
Okay.
Arai brought it to everyone's attention. You realize that.
yeah, Arai
They were
can
doing.
see that they're mapping. You recognize kind of criminal underworld, specifically casing something for later use.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
that's what you. Yeah, you. Whether or not you personally have done this, you understand the trade well enough to know when someone is creating effectively a game plan for some kind of nefarious deed.
Gotcha. Okay, so
Well,
yeah, I
The sense
misheard
that a
that.
pupper is about to appear.
Puppy!
Hello,
Hates
pupper.
it. She hates it.
But we love her.
Well, the question is, are they here as a typical type rogue skullduggery kind of thing, or are they with the advanced security team for the special visitor?
Now that is a very good question. And something tells me we're not going to be able to easily discern that from where we are right now.
It's good to know. I think we should stay on objective right now. Just be aware that we have people scrutinizing the area, but luckily not us.
Yeah, I say we use that to our advantage. We're still in disguise. No one really knows who we are. No one seems to care who we are.
Might not want
Let's
to
keep-
say that too loudly in a crowded market.
Yeah.
Just saying.
My mind is already thinking of like, what is the Traversing Veil version of Dodson? Dodson, we got Dodson here. All right.
Oh no,
Let's
I dropped
just-
the can of Barbasol.
Okay. Well, first off, if that's the case, then it seems like our acquaintance here is ignoring us because he flat out doesn't know that it's us. So
He knows
Well,
that it's us.
He met
We-
us.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's met us as we were. Or
Yeah,
as
the
we are
eye
now.
contact you guys made was obvious. He saw you, he recognized you, and then he actively turned away from you.
okay. Yeah, I got my things crisscrossed here then.
When you're dealing with subterfuge and skullduggery, it's very easy to get mixed messages.
Yeah. Hmm.
Sorry, I thought my mic was muted. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. You're talking with the popper.
Staring at me expectantly. It's like,
My therapist, I do remote therapy on the phone, and my therapist has been doing her therapy from her home office, and she has a dog. And so every so often in the middle of therapy, we'll hear this, and I'm like, Popper! She's like, yeah, that's my dog. I'm like, dogs make therapy better. Like, I think all therapists should just have a dog.
every therapist
know-
should have a therapy dog that just sort of sits behind them if it's virtual.
Oh yeah. Well, this solution could possibly be solved quite simply, where we probably need to do business with him, buy something, give him some coin. But then again, he could just try and close up shop once he realizes that we're actively trying to talk with him.
I think if he's trying to keep a low profile, closing up shop may actually be a detriment to him.
That's a very good point. Well, I say we use that possibly to our advantage, and I think Araya still needs to go with the flirt option because I actually feel like that might be our best option for interaction.
Well, I don't know if we need to be witty and be brief and give him like a a high sign secret thing, or if he's part of that club or not.
Yeah, we can go up and ask them as well how much soap they have and if they know where we could get more soap.
Yeah, just a simple question. We are customers in need of a product, and we just want to know how to get our product. Why does this sound like a drug deal?
Hey man, you got that Ajax? You got that Ajax? You got that Dawn? You got the
So-
Palmolive?
I,
You got
I
that
was looking,
Palmolive?
no, I was
You
looking
got
for
that
borax.
weed?
No, do you have borax?
Spice? Do you spice?
Do you spice?
Do you spice?
God damn
The
it, Carly.
borax must flow.
I read the grammar.
Okay, well, I personally say we go for that. Just quick, ask a question. It's perfectly harmless. We just want to know where to get soap, and then we leave.
Cleaning supplies, specifically.
Cleaning
specifically
supplies.
specifically for clothing.
Yeah, we need to wash up our clothes because we go through a lot as we do our various duties on our boat.
Orion looks at his dress. It's still spotless, thank you.
And it's spotless because you keep it clean.
Do you think the shopkeepers have been told to search for any suspicious characters? I
mean, I think they're already familiar with us, so asking some questions should be alright. It is kind of the nature of his shop.
And again, we're asking for cleaning supplies. Who could do any harm with cleaning supplies?
So Arai's gonna start walking towards the merchant
Mm-hmm.
Or is there someone assisting the merchant?
It is so packed right now that he's basically just kind of going from group to group doing his kind of sales pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get closer, again, he makes eye contact with you, and then he goes to another group further away from you.
Okay.
I knew it.
Is there any shop assistants?
No. This is a one man deal, which, to be blunt, is impressive with how much business he's going through. You would expect there to be like a staff, but no, it's entirely him.
All right.
Reggie, go ahead and make me an insight check.
Oh joy.
Or history, whichever you like better.
Insight. Insight is I have a better number than that. Insight, don't fail me now, please. God damn it.
No.
That's a 5. I rolled a 1.
You got nothing. Anyway.
He just doesn't like us.
All right, what do you want to go? What do you want to do? Again, he's not like avoiding eye contact or trying to like pretend that he doesn't know you. Like every time you've made eye contact, he makes sure to make direct eye contact and then actively turn away.
Okay, Arai's gonna follow him then.
Okay. So eventually, because of how crowded it is, he really has no choice but to interact with you. And so he turns to you and goes, "Hey, so you're it's great to see you. I didn't even know you were here." And he kind of gives you a hug. And as you guys are close, he very quickly whispers in your ear, "This was a mistake. So, what are you looking for?"
Just some laundry soap. We have been going through our laundry fairly quickly.
Oh, for a nice dame like you, with how you look, I can understand. You always need to look the best. Unfortunately, that's not really my thing. I sell food, so you might want to check over there. And he points to an area of the shop that most definitely does not have any cleaning supplies in it whatsoever.
Okay. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. And Arai kind of hugs him again. It's good to see you.
Yeah, it's great to see you too. Have
catch up
fun.
soon.
Is there a way to tell, much like the chicken shack scenario,
Sure.
if we were like being instructed much the same way, like in that manner, like, hey, whatever you do, don't go over there?
Sure, make
In
an
this
insight
case-
check.
Okay.
that's a
May
good question.
may I help too, or
Sure. Yeah, you guys can both make insight checks.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually
Anyone
a
that
good
wants to
question.
can make an insight check.
Yeah, is he obstructing us or is he
Yeah.
instructing us?
Yeah.
Screw you.
Make
Oh,
an insight
no.
check. I like rolling.
That's a 2 plus 3, 5.
Okay, Howie got nothing.
14.
Nothing.
14,
19.
a little bit better. 19, a little better. Reggie, were you going to make an insight check or no?
No, I'm kind of bound out for this one after my last roll.
You know
I
what?
need a moment.
I'm good.
You gotta keep rolling so you can go up.
Swegwick, looking over there, you don't see anything over there that would be actively dangerous to you or impeding to what you guys want to do. So you don't think it was him attempting to get you guys in trouble in any way, shape, or form.
Well, it's more Reggie just trying to get us the fuck off.
Yeah. Arai, as you kind of examine what it was that he told you and the message that you got when he whispered in your ear, you realize that the directions that he gave you to the area to go also happens to be in an area where it would be very, very easy for you to leave with very few people noticing you. you get the idea that he's telling you need to leave now.
Mm-hmm. How far away are you guys from me?
We're right next to you.
Yeah, we're with you.
Oh.
Well, because of how everything was going, you guys are probably about 15 feet away because it was packed and Arai kind of made a beeline for this guy. But still very close, just not right next to him.
Yeah, you can see us.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Arai's gonna look back at you guys and kind of just go like, and then start slowly walking off in the other direction, in the direction where he can disappear.
Reggie matches this, going oh, and then follows.
Sure.
Okay. So let's do it this way. I haven't done this in a little while.
Oh no.
Where's my die that I need? That's the die that I need.
Oh no, he's rolling.
Smegwick. Make me again. I'll choose you, or I'll let you choose initiative or not initiative. Let's try this again. Insight or history.
I'll go history.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a history roll real quick.
God damn it! I'm gonna go physical. 11.
11. Yeah, 11's enough. Looking over, you notice
to get in trouble. I agree.
one of the two people that you've been that you know is effectively casing the joints. Something about them, for whatever reason, seems different. Like, as you look at them, at first you think, did I misplace? Like you've kind of like in your head, you've kind of marked them in the crowd to know, okay, these two are casing. And one of them, as you look at them, for whatever reason, they don't look familiar to you. But you're relatively certain that's the same person that was casing the joint earlier. But for whatever reason, they just don't. It's like you're seeing them for the first time.
Hmm.
So even though I've seen them before, I don't remember seeing them before.
They just look different.
Modify memory?
Not so much that you've forgotten this is something. They just, like, their face doesn't seem familiar. Their clothes seem familiar, but for whatever reason, their face doesn't.
And I've seen that before. On a Bia. Unless you're alluding to something else.
What do you think I'm alluding to?
Well, there was an encounter where they were purposely nondescript, and they had abilities to basically be not remembered as being distinct.
Different feeling on this one. It literally feels like someone effectively wearing the same clothes has kind of switched places with them or something like that. So again, the clothes look somewhat familiar, but the person wearing them is very different. Whether or not you want to share that with the rest of the party is up to you.
I will share that while we're on our way out.
Okay.
And I think we're all moving.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
So as you guys get to the location where you were, there's a little stall there that is effectively selling like little wooden toys and knickknacks and stuff like that. As far as you can tell, they're getting next to no business. Almost pointless for them to be there. But as they come over, you see as you kind of come basically directly to them, you watch as their face lights up and they go, "Oh, are you here to get something for the young ones? Or maybe something for you? I think they all are very, very nice. I have lovely little toy ships that actually will float on the veil if you put them in there, which is very nice. Don't let your children play too close to the veil, though. We've lost 4 of them in the past 2 years.
Oh God.
Yikes.
What would you like? Oh, I have this. This one's particularly popular with the young ones. And he goes over and he takes out this very nicely carved wooden sword. They want to pretend they've joined the Marines, and or maybe they've gone to Zuros and joined the Magic Academy and now the Eldritch Knights fighting against the enemies of the sovereignty. Very popular. What were you looking for?
Smegwick is trying to look at this guy, saying like, because he's like basically now he's thinking like everything is not as it seems.
Mm-hmm.
What should I be picking up about this guy?
Make an insight check.
Because we've been directed this way.
Yeah.
Is there any way that I can assist him?
Yeah.
With insight, not really. If you want to make your own insight check, you can. But
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my own insight.
helping someone kind of read someone else without making it extremely obvious is hard.
That's 16.
16.
12.
Okay. 12. Reggie, I'm assuming something in the single digits.
Yeah, no.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Spegwit, 16 is more than enough. This person is just genuinely happy to see a customer.
Okay.
As far as you can tell, they just... You have something to say, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say Haraya's just crouched down and started to play with one of the boats.
Mm. They're nice boats. They have some fancier models that actually have like working cloth sails that you can kind of rig up and down and stuff like that. Like they're really, really, really very nice wooden ships.
He takes one. Do you have one of these with a booster?
Upgrade.
I
Oh, there's a Kenku figurine. It's perfect.
would the sword like be good enough for doing like practice battle with, like inflicting non-lethal blows?
It's a child's toy, so
So
not
it's
even like
plastic?
well, it's made of wood, but it's not of a quality that would really be useful as like a training tool. It's smaller than, I mean, you're a relatively small girl, but even for you, this is kind of a small sword. And while it looks like it's designed to take a little bit of impact for maybe playing with other kids, if you were ever to use it in an actual training situation, you would probably break, bare minimum, you'd probably break the handle because the handle itself is not particularly wide. And it's just regular wood. So
Yeah, not even like it's weaker than bamboo blade.
yeah, it's a kid's toy, you know. It's not really meant for practice or anything. It's made for kids. It's a well-made toy, but that's what it is. It's a toy.
Got anything in the way of fireworks?
He kind of looks at you. I carve wood. That's all I do. Unfortunately, I'm perfectly honest. We haven't really had fireworks here in a long time. There was a dance troupe that used to. They called themselves the Flame Dancers, and so what they would do is they would light various things on fire and then would juggle them and move them around. One of them actually would do this amazing thing where the fire would come directly from their hands. It would form these like whips, and they just kind of whirl them around. It was very entertaining.
Possible shenanigans scenario like that. Do you have anything with like a wooden box and a wood like a what's it called? Those dolls within the dolls.
Jack in the Box. Oh, the
Matryoshka dolls.
Treasure dolls.
yes.
Let's see what I have here. I don't have anything like that, but I do. Oh, you might enjoy this. And you see him kind of go behind, because it's just a little cart. He kind of goes behind the cart, and you hear him open a drawer in it, and he's kind of searching, and he brings out this small wooden box. And as you look at the top of it, the top of it is chopped into these tiny squares that seem to have like a picture on it, and one of the squares is missing. He goes, "This is it's a puzzle box. It's a lovely little tool, and you can hide something in there, and then you You mix up the puzzle and you give it to someone, and they have to solve the puzzle before they can open it.
It's a Rubik's Cube.
Hmm.
How much?
This one would be, because of the craftsmanship and everything, would be about 3 gold pieces.
Oh, he's done. He like Spake would go done.
Here you are,
Get the
and
boat with the sails too.
It's a
Crexney would love it.
if you're looking for one of the one that has like the raising lower
Vantua.
sails, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be 15 gold pieces. It's one of my finest works.
You got that money? I got.
Maybe not one that fancy.
Sorry, it's very very
It is
difficult.
very-
That took me well over a month to create everything for it. So.
It is very impressive. It is a beautiful piece of work.
Hmm.
Actually, how much gold do I have? So that would be something I would spend money for. Sarai's not very smart.
If in D&D Beyond, I believe in the inventory section is where, or the inventory
It
tab
is.
should have
It's inventory.
your
That's
gold.
if you made sure to give yourself gold.
No, yes. So I still have gold there, but I was keeping track of it somewhere else as well.
Oh, okay.
Like I wasn't actually inputting any data there. That's just original gold. I just don't know. Oh wait, it's in OneNote. Duh. D&D Club.
I may have to dip into the stores to get reimbursed later.
But anyway, I've put a special surprise in there. So if the first time you solve the puzzle box, there'll be a special surprise for you.
Hmm.
Ah, there it is. Okay. All right, hand over 15 gold.
Okay. And he gives you, and this is it's probably about like this. Like it's a big ship as far as toys go.
Yeah, it's like inquire they have a smaller one. Are you walking out of here with a giant boat? We got shit. We have shit we need to do. Unless Crexney gave us her back.
No. All right, then Arai sadly puts it back. The gold.
Well, and he goes, well, if you prefer, I can have it delivered to a place for free.
Oh.
Arai looks
No
very happy.
charge.
Gives him the 15 gold.
All right,
Okay.
just tell
Say
me the
it's for
address that you
Crexney.
need it delivered to, and I will ensure that it gets there. by
The secret
end of the
counting
day.
house where the ship is supposed to be secret.
We
1313 Mockingbird Lane.
We had our the cleaning supplies and stuff already delivered there.
I know before, but that was before we had like the crews and shit. Like security was.
Oh, that's true.
No, go for it. I said that shit out of character. Go for it.
I know. I just forgot about that.
Yeah.
So again, it's
Nope.
it's not an uncommon thing for things to be delivered to dry docks and
Oh my
stuff like
god.
that. So it would not
We're
it
just
would
gonna
not arise
temporarily.
suspicion at all.
We're just gonna temporarily make everyone really paranoid for a hot second. We're gonna like, what kind of message is this? Who sent this?
Just go to the dock master.
Oh god damn it, Arai. False alarm, just Arai.
So now you guys are basically at the very, very edge of the market, where if you wanted to, you could just walk away and be done with this.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
What would you like to do?
Yeah, I agree with Howie. We're getting out of here.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're clearly
Uh,
not going to be getting
Perhaps-
any vote
We'll do
here.
Reggie.
Should we
Reggie,
try and
choose even
see
or
if-
odd.
He knows
Oh,
anything?
God.
It's obviously been.
Odds.
Right. So,
Oh no.
and then as far as the person, Spikewick did do an insight check, and he was just genuinely happy to have a customer.
No, I just meant like if there was anything that he had seen, not if he was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you guys want to question him, you can. You are at this point like no one is going to this dude's shop, so you're actually, as long as you speak quietly, you're actually out of earshot of just about everyone.
And it
He's probably
seems like he sees
he's
a lot
probably
of
heard all
things.
kinds of things.
Yeah. Right is not the best person to interrogate people.
Okay.
Seduce them, yes. Interrogate, no.
Well, seduction can be a form of interrogation.
I
Yeah.
So when are you not chatty? What the? Now all of a sudden you're shy?
she Ari tries to do this in a low voice. You know, the people, around here have been so on edge.
I mean, there's so many things going on right now. It's such. I mean, we've never had this strong a military presence here in Exelos. I mean, this is the dancing city, the moving city. Everything is about expression and art and amazing things. And for the past week, it seems that art has died. It's very sad.
Yeah.
Oh, that personally hurts me.
I,
Whenever they cut the budget, it's always the music department gets hit first.
Yep.
We're hoping that they haven't really given us an end date to all of this. So we're hoping that in a week or so, the city will go back to normal.
What exactly have they said to you?
Well, they mentioned that there is some sort of breach of the Undervale around Voxus Landing, and the Undervale itself had effectively kind of corrupted anyone that was nearby. And so, with Exelos being one of the closest cities to Voxus Landing, they realized that the refugees from that event were all coming here, and it was just easier to kind of close the city down and have everyone go through one place. They've set up blockades in various places to ensure that anyone coming from the Fading Isles in general is basically pharaohed to Exelos, is my understanding. And yeah, they just figured it would be easier to kind of deal with everything in one place. So yes, Exelos was effectively just like a casualty of an act of the gods, just an accident, and we're happy to help, but our knowledge of healing or anything, that's not really what we do here. If you'd like us to make a dance about how much we don't like the Undervale, we can do that. But as far as fixing people that have been corrupted by the Undervale, were you at Fox's Landing when it happened? You seem to be relatively new here.
Unfortunate situation. Everybody ended up here.
Oh, where specifically did you come from?
Last we checked, Canalome.
Oh, are you bringing fresh food and things like that in? Oh, you are the heroes right now.
Unfortunately, no. We were actually bringing minor supplies. Believe me, we would have loved to have managed. We probably would have made a killing. Such is the luck.
I understand. It always seems to happen when you can make the most profit. It's the one time you're not doing that.
Yeah, speaking of which, it's really hard for us to try and find cleaning detergent and laundry soap. Do you know where the majority of that might have been going to?
Well, ever since the military got here, they actually took over an entire area. See, and you see him just start kind of drawing an imaginary map of Exelos in the air. He goes, originally, this entire area over here was populated mostly by students who hadn't yet joined a school. They were basically there trying to learn. It was very kind of bohemian society. They all kind of lived together and they helped each other out. It was very interesting, but very poor. Anytime one of their ilk came to any of the markets, we all knew that in general they weren't going to pay for what they were trying to get, and they would try to find ways to get free samples and other things like that. Perfectly nice people, just without an understanding of the value of money. They just assumed that if they would dance for you, you would give them free things. Just dance is very nice, but I can't eat it, so I can't put food on my table with it. Things like that.
Influencers.
I was going to say the College of Busking, but damn, Reggie.
Yeah. Nice.
It is the one.
Inspiration. That was amazing. That was not the realm I was going for, but sure. So yeah, but as soon as they came, they basically kicked all of them out. I have no idea where they went, but they took over all of these apartment complexes. And yeah, they do everything. They've set up effectively their own kind of mini city within a city. They have food storage there. They have laundry facilities, and the worst thing about it, they're not paying for anything. They just simply go there and kind of conscript your goods, and then they say, they give you a receipt, and they say when you submit it to Imperius, and they will eventually pay you back for it. But it's been an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
Luckily for me, there's not much of a market for the military to have small wooden toys, so none of my goods have been conscripted as of yet. But who knows? They stay here long enough, maybe they'll start having families.
Or, given a little bit of time, they may need to start sending gifts back home.
Oh, I doubt that. They don't seem to be very good gift givers.
I'm sure at least a couple of them got some kids they want to at least admit they have.
And these are very, very fun toys.
Well, thank you.
I still fiddling with the big boat.
My family has been making toys like this for 12 generations.
Wow.
Originally, we actually lived in Imperius, because with the amount of nobles there, they always needed something to keep their children. But it's been Imperius, especially once the war started, Imperius just started becoming more and more just unwelcoming, and so we came to Exelos just because of the love of art and expression here. And until fairly recently, it was a very nice place. Surprisingly enough, these very fit, lithe people tend to find ways to get together fairly often. And so children used to be a regular sight in Exelos.
Where are they now?
Well, we'd assume they're all with their parents. It's not generally safe to wander the streets alone like it used to be. Go back 2 weeks, a month. Children could walk around in the dead of night, and the worst that would happen would be they would be scolded by one of the various martial schools that patrol the streets at night to prevent crime and other things like that. One of the monks would come up to them and go, "What are you doing, young child? It's far too late for you to be out here." They'd kind of take them home, and the parents would scold them. Now, walking around in broad daylight, the wrong part of town, and you may just simply disappear. There are friends of mine that I haven't seen in 3 or 4 days. Which I realize doesn't sound like much, but these are people that I saw every day of my life for the past, 10 years. They just vanished. There's even, and he gets closer, there's even people in the market seem to be, I don't know, they just, you look at them and they'll look at you and you just get a bad feeling, and then you look back and they're a different person, but they're wearing the same clothes. It doesn't make any sense. It's like they have an entire team of people that as soon as one of them is noticed, they somehow switch them out with another person. It's very bizarre.
When they're switched out, do they have a different physique?
Sometimes they'll get taller or shorter. Sometimes they'll get fatter or thinner. They'll have a beard one moment and then clean shaven the next. It's very, very bizarre.
Would I know if that would like be the effect of some sort of like illusion spell or even alter self?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. Please do not screw me. You screwed me. That's a 5. Oh, actually, I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Okay.
Please don't screw.
Can I roll Arcana too, since I actually witnessed that?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, not much better. 8.
First one roll that is, can't see. Okay. 11. I'm sorry, 13. With 7. I do math.
Hold on, I'm just doing something really quick. All right.
As you would
so sorry,
say,
what-
Jody, I'm rolling like you.
Sorry. What did you get, Howie?
8.
8. Okay, and then Smegrick?
13.
13. All right, so between the two of you, illusion magic, like disguise spells, self and something like that, in a situation like where you guys are, where it's really, really populated, is a recipe for disaster. Because illusion magic is visual. As soon as someone interacts with it, especially with the fact that they sometimes would change their size or that, you theoretically can do that with like a disguise self or something. But as soon as someone interacts with them or touches or brushes up against them, anything that is not an actual part of their body effectively becomes translucent. Because as soon as you are aware that something is an illusion, you can partially see through it. So the fact that these people are not instantly becoming partially translucent, like their beard doesn't turn into a see-through beard, would indicate that this is not any sort of illusion magic.
Reggie kind of realizing that just kind of tenses up a little. And he's like silent. Araya, you're muted.
I was just talking too quietly, sorry.
Oh.
Something you're familiar with, I'm guessing?
We need to leave this area.
We were trying to.
No, we're gonna leave now.
Okay.
Finish up your business. Finish up your business. We need to leave this area right now. And like Reggie is like he's already starting to move, but he's like looking behind you, like, come on.
I tip the shopkeep 6 gold.
The shopkeep thrilled. Thank you very much. Come back again, and we'll the ship will be delivered by the end of the day.
Thank you.
Reggie, go ahead and make me a perception check with advantage.
Oh, okay. Hopefully that helps. Ah. With advantage, and I am not using that inspiration you gave me. 21.
21. As you guys are kind of wandering away, you notice someone that's in kind of disheveled clothing uh, seems to be overly interested in you. And as you turn in your group,
Oh, okay.
and as you turn a corner, you wait for just a moment, and you see someone that the clothing looks the same, but compared to the kind of just really dirty, disgusting looking clothing, this is pristinely cleaned. And it almost looks like a different person is wearing effectively a clean version of the same clothes. But they seem to be keeping true track of you.
Yeah. Reggie is just gonna try and keep moving.
Okay.
He just eyes forward, silent. He's not looking at anyone. He's not even looking at his own party. He is on the move.
All right.
Yeah, we're
So-
following him.
2.
Say that again, Arai. I didn't pick up the
Where are
first
we
part.
moving to?
Just anywhere that is not here. But yes, I would like some ideas on a destination where we could possibly have some privacy.
As of right now, Reggie is effectively kind of leading you guys on. I guess Smegwick might be the only person that would recognize trying to lose a tail. The rest of you guys just haven't had to deal with that. But
Yeah, to you, Reggie's just power walking right now.
yeah, and he seems to know where he's going, and he'll just like randomly turn down a side street and then turn down an alley and then kind of double back. And Reggie, with your 21, you're starting to realize it seems to be there's not a single person following you. There is now a pair that are tracking you. Which losing a single tail is something that is doable. Losing a pair is significantly harder, and these people are trained. Like, it's obvious to you that these people know how to shadow a target exceptionally well. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that you were already aware of them, you probably wouldn't have even recognized it.
Okay, Reggie is gonna while still moving, Reggie's gonna just gently lean over to Smegwick. And while walking, he's just gonna whisper over, "Don't ask questions right now. Just follow my lead. We need to actively find some guards."
Sleepy Rooster.
Okay, we're beelining for there.
Okay.
So as you guys start heading towards there, it's about a 10-15 minute walk away normally. You think you can probably get there at the speed that you're moving. You can probably get there in 7 minutes.
Oh yeah.
And so you guys are going there. You're starting to notice that your tails are actively, like one of them actively gets in your way to where if you want to go the path that you're going to have to go through them effectively. What would you like to do?
Are there any like other intersections that we can take?
There's tons. The most direct route is blocked by this person, but if you want to go an alternate route, you can continue trying to avoid them. So is that what you want to do?
Yeah, definitely avoiding.
Okay. Choose even or odd.
Crap. I chose odds last time, so evens.
Okay. As you go down a side alley, you suddenly see another person, again, wearing similar clothing, but the face itself looks completely new. You've never seen this person before, but the clothing looks familiar.
Shit.
And they have again put themselves, like, if it wasn't for the fact that you knew you were being kind of shadowed, they wouldn't even show up on your radar. They're just kind of sitting at a street corner doing nothing. But as you go these alternate routes, you keep running into these people, and they're making it so you can't actually get to the Sleeping Rooster without going through at least one of them.
Freaking ninjas.
And you are all seeing Reggie get like more and more anxious, which is something that has never happened. He typically is always cocky.
I don't know. We've seen a lot of anxious Reggies lately.
Lately,
A lot.
lately, a lot of
Since
things have
I
been
met
happening.
you.
Lately, a lot of things have been coincidentally happening. This unfortunately may seem like the worst one yet. Yeah.
Where
If
we're
all-
at, are we anywhere near a food place, or because we're at a random, we keep going random directions? Now we're being reactionary.
At this point, they have effectively kind of led you away from any habitated part of this as a city. You guys are moving further and further away from where people are.
Crap.
The best way to play a game is to not play. And immediately, we just immediately turn down just the next available alley that pops up.
Okay.
All right,
All
so
right.
Smegwick, we're playing a game.
Uh,
Shit, I
Smegwick,
wish you'd
choose
keep
even
up.
or odd. Okay. The alley that you to turn down is a bit of a blind alley, so you weren't 100% certain what you're going to see there. But as you're kind of walking down it, you do see that it empties out onto a much larger road. And there are only two exits to it. There's the exit
Oh,
you
that's
came
great.
from.
The second we go down the alley, I'm just like, okay, and stop.
Oh, okay.
Wait, what?
And Smegwick just leans against the wall.
Is it Smegwick? What are you doing?
Not playing the game.
So within a couple minutes, you suddenly see another person that you don't realize and or you don't recognize. Smegwick, go ahead and
Yeah, I was gonna say, do I get that vibe immediately? Because now I know what to look for.
make me a history check.
Okay.
No.
Advantage or regular?
I'll give you advantage on this one because
Okay.
this is an important thing that you would have been briefed on back in your military days.
Yeah, of course I. Sorry, I should have to pick this up. I'm choosing to roll the one that has the. Okay. Okay, it's 12.
Pretty
Okay,
sure.
12. No, I'm choosing my nice one that has like really cool, but it's like the numbers aren't painted on.
Ah.
So that's 12 and then 13. So 13 plus 6, 19.
19. Okay. As they turn the corner, your blood runs cold for a second, and you were instantly brought back to. It only happened once to you in your entire career as a Pathfinder. To give a little bit of history on what's called the Elemental Wars, the way that my setting is set up is there's three kind of levels of existence. There's the prime material plane, which is in the center, and there's a single portal from the prime material plane that goes to the upper planes, and there's a single portal that goes to the lower planes. The lower planes are the Shadowfell, and then 7 heavens and 7 hells. The upper planes are called the elemental kingdoms because there is the elemental plane of air, fire, water, and earth, and each one has their own government. And then in the center of them is the Feywild, which is also called the Verdant Empire.
Yeah.
And that's where the one portal that leads to the prime material plane, it's in the capital of the Verdant Empire. So when the Elemental Wars started, each of the elemental kingdoms not only started a war with the Verdant Empire over control of the only way to get to the prime material plane, they also started a war with each of the other elemental kingdoms. And each elemental kingdom shares a border with the Feywild and then 2 other elemental kingdoms. So the Tempest Sovereignty, the elemental plane of air, has to the northeast they have the border with the Scorched Dominion, which is the elemental plane of fire. And to the southeast
Yep.
is the Aqueous Realm, the elemental plane of water.
And Earth's on the opposite side of
Yeah,
us.
and so you really haven't dealt with the Terrestrial Dominion, which is the Earth Kingdom. But the Scorched Dominion, in the war, dealing with the Scorched Dominion is relatively simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. They're very aggressive. They use fire. They use explosions. When you run into Scorched troops, it's generally who can kill who first. The Aqueous Realm, on the other hand, is secretive. The largest population in the sovereignty, the native population is the Aarakocra and Air Genasi. The Aqueous Realm, the population that was born there are changelings. And then Water Genasi. And the kind of elite troops for the Aqueous Realms are changeling assassins.
Oh my
That,
god.
again, Smegwick, you have dealt with them once in the entirety of your career, and you were the only survivor of that particular encounter. You were simply walking around. There were troops that were with you. There were troops that you had known for years, and then suddenly you noticed that their eye color was not quite the way that you remembered it, and the next thing you know, blades were coming out, and people were dying. And this was before you had met your patron, and for whatever reason, you were able to get away and report back to your superiors before they could kill you. But as this person kind of turns the corner, you are instantly reminded of the instant where you looked at someone and you went, what happened to your eyes? And then you watched this smile form and their entire visage changed. And before you could react, there was a knife in your side. You are instantly brought back to that when this person kind of walks around this the corner, looks at you, and the same smile forms.
Immediately, Smeg was just like, okay, if I run scared, we're all dead. He then chooses to get 2 feet in front of this guy and go, we ain't got beef, don't start nothing, don't be nothing. Now, that should put everyone else on high alert, because that's...
Reggie has turned his back. He does not want to make eye contact with this guy.
Okay.
I had a feeling it was gonna be.
Now, you gotta ask yourself, how much attention do you want right now? Because we don't want that attention, neither do you.
So as you were talking to him, I'm going to show you guys what I rolled.
Yeah!
I can't tell.
Sorry.
I can't
One.
tell.
It's
It's
a
a nat
one.
1.
Yes, that's good.
So as you are sitting there, you see the smile that the last time you saw this smile, a bunch of people that you knew were dead. Your blood runs cold. You start having a hard time breathing just as you feel the panic starting to build. And suddenly you see a flash of light, and where there wasn't a dagger before, there is now a dagger that is coming towards you. And without missing a beat, you grab the wrist and kind of twist it up, and you can see him just kind of sitting there, very shocked that you have his dagger hand in yours. And he hasn't made another move because he's still blown away that you were able to stop him. So what would you like to do?
While he's frozen, since I'm right next to Smegwig, can Arai pin him to the wall?
Make me an athletics check with disadvantage.
Can I look around to see if anyone
16.
else is coming this way? Oh my god, why did I ask for perception?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check. So as you attempt to pin him to,
Motherfucker.
you attempt to pin him to the wall,
Oh. Now you decide to roll relatively high. 12.
All right, so hold on to that for just a second. As you attempt to pin him to the wall, Smegwick, you've got a good hold on his wrist when suddenly it turns into jelly and you no longer have a grip on it at all. Arai, as you pin him to the wall, you can feel his musculature and it suddenly just disappears. And it's like you're holding an empty jacket as he just kind of slips under your grip. And suddenly he's about, 10 feet away from you, just kind of looking at you guys. He had to drop the dagger he was holding in order to get out of your grip. So there's a dagger now at your feet, Smegwick. But he is completely out of everyone's grip, and he's just kind of looking at you, guys. Still with that little kind of cocky smile on it.
I want to try and cast Hold Person on him.
Sure. What's the save for that? It's a
The
wisdom
save?
save?
I'm using Hold Person. I'm not wasting any time with this guy, so I'm going to use Hold Person at 4th level. It is a Wisdom saving throw of 16 he has to make.
Okay.
Can you upcast that?
Can I what?
Upcasting Hold Person just lets you hold multiple people.
Oh.
Yeah. If
Oh.
you look at the spell scripts at higher levels, you can cast an additional person for each
Oh, well,
one.
then-
It doesn't
then
increase the difficulty or anything.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. I'll just do 2nd level. That's when I first get it.
Okay. You said 16, right?
16 Wisdom save.
Wisdom save, yeah. As you look at him, you guys watch as these kind of bands of light come down and start trying to restrain him. And again, he just kind of wriggles out, and you watch all the bands group around and catch nothing. And finally, he puts up a hand. Okay, I get it. But this is going to stop right now. All right? You're going to tell us what it is that you know, and then you're going to forget that we ever existed. How does that sound?
The fuck did you want to know? And now you're asking us before you try to stab me in the kidney.
Well, generally, it's easier to interrogate one person versus 4. And we really only need one of you to find out what we want to know. But you've impressed me, and we have no beef, like you said. So, tell us what we want to know, and then you'll never see us again.
Reggie is just staring absolute venom at this guy.
What do you want to know?
Well, I get the feeling that you all have talked to, let's just call them our most inferior imitators. They wish that they were as good at dealing with people as we are. And in a very rare instance of the stars aligning, it seems that we have a similar goal. So why don't we share information? And if you guys want, we'll take care of everything. You can take credit for it. We don't actually care. You can take credit for it, and we'll get out of your hair. How does that sound?
Can I tell if he's being genuine with this?
Sure, go ahead and make an insight check.
I'm going to make my own insight check.
Sure.
12.
Same.
I'll go, Reggie, I'll say that you get advantage for reasons that you understand.
All right, perfect.
19.
19, okay.
21.
21, okay.
9. You got this more than that.
Okay, and then Aoi?
12.
Okay. Smegwick, you were the only one that looking at this person, there's literally no bleed through of any sort of deception. However,
He's just very good.
looking at his word choice, you realize that he has intentionally chosen vague enough terms that it would be very easy to explain away any nefarious aspect. Like the words that
Yeah.
he's chosen are specifically chosen to create plausible deniability.
Yeah.
And because of that, being able to tell if he's lying or not is next to impossible, because you actually can't prove what he was intending to say. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But it's very obvious that he's doing this deliberately. The words that he's using are chosen specifically for plausible deniability.
Yeah. Game recognized game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I will admit, this is, from the idea of game recognized games, this is almost like you would never consider yourself an amateur in this particular game, but compared to this dude, you 100% are. Like, again, it's one of those things that just makes you very worried about the situation. Is this guy is on a level so far beyond what you're used to dealing with. So, that being said, so do we have an accord, or are things going to get less enjoyable very quickly?
I think we have an understanding. We're here for work. You're here for work.
Fantastic.
Smegwick gets in his face.
So,
And now you're known to us.
absolutely, you know exactly who I am, and then you watch as his face changes into a feminine form. He actually shrinks about 2 inches.
Yeah.
Big. Right? He's like, and now you don't. And then he changes again, and he's a very old, decrepit man. And now you don't. And he turns back into the form you saw before. You really don't understand what you're dealing with, do you? Let's cut the shit here, all right? We know where it's happening.
I understand. Very impressive.
We know where it's happening. However, that's all we know. For the first time in 100 years, the sovereignty has learned how to keep their big fucking mouths shut. It's annoying the hell out of us. So what do you know aside from where it's happening?
Smegwick is audibly laughing. Oh, that's fucking precious. He steps back. You really? Oh, that's adorable.
Apparently, you almost killed the only person who knows what the heck you're trying to.
We don't fucking know.
So the only thing that you know is where it's happening. You don't know the makeup of the guards. You don't know the path that they're choosing. Nothing.
We know
Come
the locale.
on.
We know the locale, jackass. You nearly stabbed me. You nearly made a kidney pie out of my fucking kidney. Over the exact same fucking location.
How
Apparently,
much do you know, though?
what we know doesn't really matter at this particular
Which,
juncture.
at this point now, I'm starting to wonder if it's Tempest Sovereignty we're dealing with. Because you said it yourself. Someone's learned to keep their mouth shut really fucking well, and that's not normally their game.
Yeah, we're not exactly sure what the change has been, but they've become much smarter than they used to be. It's annoying, not impossible. So apparently I have vastly overestimated the heroes of Fox's Landing. And after you guys dealt with that giant beholder monstrosity dragon thing, I was expecting a lot more. Well,
You've been watching us all this time.
No shit.
We don't need to watch you. You guys have left a trail so wide and so easy to follow. A blind, deaf moron could have followed you. And you guys think that, putting on a pretty dress, somehow no one's going to recognize you? The only reason you have not been taken care of is you are causing more chaos in the sovereignty than we ever could. And we find that hilarious. But you've never been a threat to us. And the sovereignty is so far up their own asses trying to negotiate a peace settlement with a creature that doesn't understand peace that we'll take care of this. Like I said, if you want to take credit for it, go for it. We don't care.
His choice of words, he said creature. Would that mean like a humanoid or like a beholder?
He made reference to the beholder dragon. So,
Yeah.
again, he's intentionally leaving things vague. So, you're not 100% certain what he's referencing.
There's still the matter of my insight check. I rolled a 21. Do I get anything off of this guy?
I'm going to whisper it to you.
Oh,
I got a 19. Do I get a whisper too? Will it tickle?
No, unfortunately not. The difficulty's higher than that.
Where am I expecting this whisper? Like on Discord?
In Roll20 chat. That's where I prefer
roll-
to have.
Roll20 chat. Gotcha.
Yeah. I sent you another message in there earlier. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh no, I saw that.
Okay, so yeah, that's where I prefer to use Roll20 chat because I have it open. So
Yeah, I got like my character sheet, I got Roll20, and then I got Discord just in case in our server. But yes, I did see that message, and that's why I was like, we need to leave.
Where? Like, they obviously know where the current beholder dragon creature is.
They haven't killed us yet. This is Evan talking, not Reggie. They haven't killed us yet. They want information. They say that they know the locale, but they don't know the makeup. What we know, apparently, that they seem to not know is that the guy's coming tomorrow, and he's got blade singers with him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they know the locale. They know the time of the meetup. That's the same thing that we know.
But they don't know what they're up against. They
Yeah.
just know. They don't know that they don't know like the time frame
They're,
of his arrival and that blade singers are with him.
yeah.
Oh, crap.
Uh.
All right. Okay, Jody, I'm gonna need your help with something in a technical sense.
sure.
Is there a way for me that I can send a whisper response through Roll20 to you? Because I do have
Yeah,
one.
so-
With the whisper that you sent me, I have one follow-up question.
Type /W and then push space, and then just type Trainer Jody. If you start typing TR,
It'll
you'll
start
see
no
the
article.
name pop up, and if you click on the name, it should. You just have to type Trainer Jody, all one word. Don't put a space in Trainer Jody, and then another space, and then whatever you do, it'll whisper it directly to me.
Okay, I just sent you the message. But yeah, this is just one follow-up thing because, like, Reggie's not going to outright do anything regarding this, but he's thinking about it right now. So I just want the context.
So again, they know where the beholder creature is. We still don't have any idea about it or where it went to.
But currently at this time, they don't seem to care about the beholder dragon. They want to
No,
go.
I'm not. I'm not worried about them. I'm talking about our future knowledge, like
Oh,
for us
oh,
as
oh,
a
oh, oh.
party.
Well, actually, my understanding was I thought they were set up at Vox's Landing. I thought that might have been where he was. Unless maybe I misread the thing because about sitting up shop.
Yeah.
Sorry. Long response.
Okay.
The only way I knew you weren't frozen was your hair is moving. That's what you said.
So,
All right. Reggie, is this guy like between us and a wall, or between us and like one of the pathways of this alleyway
you
that we're in?
guys had gone into this alley and he had turned the corner and you tried pinning him against the wall. Now he's on a much larger street. And has a lot of different places he can go.
Okay.
So, and again, both Smegwick and Reggie, you guys would both recognize that he has chosen this particular spot on purpose.
Okay. Reggie's gonna step forward.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna look at everyone before he looks at the changeling. You could have killed us a million different ways up until this very point right here.
Mm-hmm.
You've been watching us, not for any lack of effort on your part. Apparently, as you say, we've been leaving quite the trail for you to follow. But then if that were the case, then why still keep us alive? If anything, it would stand to reason that you know more about pretty much all that's going on here better than we do. So why waste your time?
Because you are agents of chaos. Everything you touch explodes in glorious fashion. You guys convinced anonymity and God, I can't even remember my own Thieves Guild. The Thieves
Misdirection.
Guild. Misdirection.
Misdirection.
You guys convinced anonymity and misdirection to stop their Cold War and go into open warfare. Do you know how long it's been since there's been an open guild war?
Oh, for fuck's sake! Are we the only ones that see this? It wasn't us. There's a new player.
Of course there is, but you seem to be involved every single time something goes wrong. So why would we kill you? You are disrupting the sovereignty in a way that we could only dream about. You are probably the greatest asset to us that has ever existed, and you don't even work for us. We don't have to pay you. We don't have to do anything. You are perfect. You want to know why the sovereignty is suddenly losing territory? It's you guys.
I know.
Give us
Give you
way too
guys
much fucking
another
credit.
year or two of being adventurers, and we'll take over the sovereignty.
And
Now
Reggie's
you're
like,
giving yourself a little too much credit.
no, they're giving themselves the perfect amount of credit.
So yes, when you surprised me again, surprised, which you should take as a compliment. It's very, very difficult to surprise me. And I reacted the way that I normally react. No loose ends. However, now that we've had a chance to have a conversation, I'm more than happy to discuss things with you. Until you're no longer useful to me. Which at this point, I think we've gotten to the point where you're no longer useful. So I'm going to head out. If you ever see me again, it'll be the last time you see anything. Okay? Unless you have something else that might be useful to me.
But if we say anything or give anything, then we lose that usefulness.
No, you're still useful.
We're still
to...
agents of chaos.
Yeah, you're
Very
still
pretty
agents
and
of
dressy.
chaos. You just won't make this particular job slightly easier for us. See, I don't know if you guys understand this, but there's nothing that you can do to stop this. They're gonna die. If you want to take credit for it and get paid for it, that's perfectly fine. But no matter what you do, what you attempt, their fate is already sealed. Now, if you were to help us, it would make the job slightly easier, which might make us more willing to look the other way if you do something that annoys us mildly. But if you're not willing to help, then again, if you ever see me again, be the last thing you ever see. And with that, I've got a date. And he steps backwards, and as soon as he kind of moves into the shadows, he's gone.
Oh no.
I thought he wanted information. He left before we could give him information.
Reggie
I was just
puts
like,
his Reggie puts his back on the wall and he like slides down to the ground.
That seemed like a good thing. Why didn't we tell him about the plate singers?
Shut the fuck up. Let's all go back to the. Well, fuck this. You know what? Like, I was like, you know what? Fuck this. We're still on the job.
Why?
Why? Because I'm pissed off now. That's why. Another fucking day where some other asshole threatens us. Must be a day ending in fucking Y. Okay?
But they're willing to do a job we're having difficulties figuring out a plan for.
You do realize taking the credit could also mean taking the blame.
Yes, but they like keeping us around. And it's
Did they just meant to be the reason that everything's been shutting down?
No, they've
No.
Because Tempest Sovereignty's fucking up.
Temper Sovereignty's been fucking up. They're in panic mode right now because of all of the much more obvious BS that's been going on. Meanwhile, these guys are just taking advantage of the situation. The only thing that this guy said that actually was true is that apparently all of our accidental antics have been making their jobs unfathomably easier. And they're just taking advantage of the situation. So right now, currently at this moment, they don't want to lose their golden goose, which is us.
So it seems like we're going to take the blame regardless, since we are the loud noisemakers. And they are effective behind the scenes.
And
So how about if we're going to be fuck ups, how about we be fuck ups on our own terms? How about that? I'm sick and fucking tired of someone else telling us we should tuck our tails and run someplace else. We're running out of places to run.
Let's just head back to the chicken place.
It's a really fun phrase to just have in your
Yeah,
D&D
so-
game.
Sorry. It's like that would be the perfect place to end it. Let's just head to the chicken place. Like so did
Yeah, like
sounding.
Smegwick right now is like ranting anger. Reggie is like silent anger right now.
Well, unfortunately, that is where we're going to end it for tonight. As always, I do upload all these to my YouTube channels, youtube.com/Jody. Excuse me.
At
Bless
this rate,
you.
As a reminder, check out my YouTube channel for my new Essential Lessons 20 series. It has been very popular, and I'm very proud of it. And yeah, otherwise, again, that is all for me today. I will see you guys next time. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.